On October 4th, 2020, at the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi, Pope Francis said, and I quote, "By ourselves, we risk seeing mirages, things that are not there. Dreams, on the other hand, are built together." End of quote. Suffice to say that when we come together as one, we are incredibly powerful and can do or conquer anything. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk on DNTWOK. My name is Olujoke Mosako. My guest is Mrs. Ruth Omolola Abraham, aka Soaring Youth. I take that again, aka Soaring Ruth, author and convener, Soaring Eagle Generation. But before we delve into the program proper, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Until then, please enjoy the ride with us. Thank you so much, Ms. Abraham, for coming on the show. What does it mean to be stronger together?
The idea that informed Stronger Together as a book and why it is written. First, as a passionate attempt to deconstruct the mystery in a world where our interdependency is a force of advantage on its own. Observably, so many things happening, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And of course, we have quite a number of people who are observers, the bad things going on and everything in between. But interestingly, many of them and frankly, I found that we live in a world where we are crying for a world that is in need of proactive individuals. Like passivity is no longer fashionable. There is no way we'll achieve too many chaotic events in our world and how things run, how things should be done. And to conclude at this time, I found that there is no point observing and leaving it as it is, but getting involved today. We need people who will get involved, not just one person, seeing how there can be an emergence of a world where there is peace, where there is dignity, where there is equality. So that is why the Lord himself inspired me to write Stronger Together, where we can deconstruct that mystery of working together. A beautiful word in the long run. Thank you.
Okay, so in other words, that was what inspired you to write the book Stronger Together, because I understand that you just launched the book actually, and of course there's been reviews, so we'll get to that afterwards. So do you have anything to explain further, or is there more inspirations or surrounding experiences that actually propelled you into writing the Stronger Together?
The inspiration, experiences, real life experiences, right, that brought about writing of this book. First and foremost, keep emphasizing it that it took me 3 years to write this book. Writing this book began since 2020. I was meant to give a talk somewhere, and I thought I should give my best. So I'm getting all the materials I need to ensure I just do something beautiful. And somehow I found myself in the book of Ezekiel chapter 1. And according to Prophet Ezekiel, where he found himself at the Kiba River, where he saw these 4 living creatures. Let me start with the human face, the lion face, the ox face, and interestingly, the eagle face. Right as I began to glean through this inspiration, this vision, I found that this can be related experiences even in the 21st century. So this inspiration began since then. This beautiful vision, of course, is fiery, is powerful, it's a force, and I found that we can truly relate it to our words today. Get together. I found that this image is leading me to various aspects of social interactions. Is it in marriage? Is it in the corporate world? Is it in business? For instance, there are some places where some people have eagle eyes. They function like an eagle. They are able to bring order. They are able to call people to order. They have energy. They have strength to do so many things. So when you bring all of this together, how do I put it? When you bring all of this together, there would be ease. But let me quickly add. For instance, I'm from Nigeria. And right now in Nigeria, as I speak, the forthcoming elections. And we have quite a number of political gladiators in our nation. A lot. We've gone through so much pain. We've been marginalized, truly lied to us in many ways, in different ways. And now the people are struggling. And we've had a very long gap in archaeology. We could call it hiatus. Stronger Together is a book that can build that we are at the point where we need a change in the current narrative. About one man or one woman coming with all of our emotions or our ambitions. No, no, no. Of course, that is good, but it's not enough. A crop of brilliant men and women with achievable ideas that can come together. Chapter 3 of Stronger Together, it is titled, Whose Horse Will Win? This once we form my book, it simply means ideas, values, belief, transparency, and name it, and other beautiful quality that we can bring together. The solution to our collective national distortion, but we can have a system. We can start, we can begin the step where this system we commit to bring in this idea. But truly, the solution we need right now is not from one man.
All right. So having said all that, I like where you took it from, having to speak about Nigeria as a nation and knowing what Nigerians in particular are going through at this time. The election is very much around the corner. There is a Naira redesign and liquidation of the previous notes, and ATMs don't have money, banks cannot dispense money. POS agents are, you're using Naira to buy Naira. There's just hardship everywhere. Now, why is it important as a nation to be stronger together and as a spiritual community to be stronger together? Because if we say the government is not doing so well, this particular situation has also shown that even the people themselves do not have a good heart, because instead of you to try to support each other by softening the situation, instead you are making it harder the more. Because why would you, because of the situation, decide to sell Naira? You're getting 10,000 Naira and you're using 2,000 to get 10,000. You want to get 2,000, you're using 200 to get 2,000. And even if you want to do a transfer, even the business owner will also get a commission of you transferring to him or her. Now, in this situation, with this your title, what do you have to say?
Okay, what do I have to say regarding this
Yes. If you're saying stronger together and we have all of these abnormalities happening around us, why is it important and how can it be achieved?
Let me start from this point. You see that the followers follow. If you look at a nation, whether good, bad, ugly, look at the leader. Also model a character for their children to follow. Now, the reason why we have what is going on, heart-wrenching situation, typically speaks of the actor, who they are. So if we need this to get out of the way, if we need freedom, liberty once again in this nation, because that is what we truly need. That is what I need for this nation. In Nigeria, filled with peace, progress, development, and name it, where everybody is happy. What do we have to do to this? Is when we all come together to tell ourselves the truth. This is not a time to sell your vote, because one thing is this: when we take gifts at the wrong time, gifts have a way of getting us blinded. So at this time, if we could all come out and act wisely, it's not that we say this today, it's when we all come together. Of course, it's painful. The sacrifices we make to come together to find ourselves in that beautiful nation where everybody is truly happy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Let's quickly go on this break. We will be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Let's Talk on DNTWOK, and the topic has been Stronger Together. It's also a book title of Mrs. Ruth Omolola Abraham. She is the author and convener, Soaring Eagle Generation. And it's been wonderful so far. So if you're just joining us, please continue the ride with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel even before the end of this program. Please stay with us. Thank you, Ms. Abraham, for standing by. Now, give us excerpts from your book that explains how we can be better together as a community or nation.
The excerpts that I think I should bring up now is from chapter 4, where we have cultivar worthless brambles. And here, this book explains how we keep complaining about the narrative, complaining about the situation in their nation. And of course, there is another sect, and they are doing their thing too. But before we knew it, this group of people who have ideas, who know there is a need for a change, suddenly became individualistic, began to aspire for position, for title, for a name for themselves. And as a result, but worthless brambles found themselves there. Now, these worthless brambles are ideas, are a crop of men who don't really know how to bring a change, who don't really know how to bring development. Once they are there, nothing takes them out of it. Even when they aren't performing well, they are just there. Now, what do we do? The only way we can have cultivars, when we say cultivars, we simply mean crops that are intentionally cared for so they grow well. So the only way of cultivars is when we throw away our individuality, when we throw away our selfish, or a people or an organization that thrives as an individual. No, there is worthless brambles belong to the incinerator. Worthless brambles are supposed, of course, relegated, consigned into the fire. They are not supposed to be in the space at all. Then another aspect is marriage. There's a part that looks at marriage and some of the things that we know that the parents too do suffer from separation. Know how to make decisions, good decisions. Like you find some people saying, "Oh, my parents divorced at 2, and they also get together." In this point, is calling up a people functionality, all of the dysfunctions of the previous generation, the dysfunctions of our fathers and our mothers, ending it. I passionately talk about this aspect of breaking it such that it doesn't take negative ill cycle, keeps it continues, like it keeps repeating. I'm just looking for a word where our dysfunctions, even in this current generation, ends with the generation next. So that's an aspect. But if you need me to keep talking about it, I can still give some more points.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, I read the reviews and I must say they are very interesting, coming from people like Pastor Godman Akinlabi, Prince Adeyemi Adefulu, and Dr. Friday Becky. And basically, you in person also said something on Instagram. You said it is a discourse on the emergence of a generation that won't only observe the challenges, but also possess the strategies for sustainable solution. Could you please expatiate on that?
Yes. What I mean in this, with that statement to Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was a man who could observe, still have the strategy on how to solve it. Like in Stronger Together, we looked at the aspect of passivity. Passivity is simply observing the troubles we have. You could observe, we need people who would not only observe. Is the rise of a generation of men and women who would get involved. I have not just written Stronger Together and, hide in my room or in my comfort zone. I want to be the first to see that I become active in all of the things. So when we talk about a generation of people who would not only observe but have the strategy, it is when we bring in strategy. For instance, immediately Joseph interpreted the dream to Pharaoh. Do this, do that, do this, do that. So we need a crop of people who have strategy, who know how to deploy ideas, who know how to deploy strategies, plan.
Do you have any final word, even as we round up?
The uniqueness of you and I, the uniqueness of our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, and our sisters, bring them together in our churches, bring them together in government.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you on the show. I really do appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck, even in your subsequent books. And basically, I would want you to patronize and go get the book. It's very essential that we all take our time to read the book, because when we're stronger together, we can conquer anything, whatsoever it is, as a nation, as a community, as a ministry, or a body of Christ, or a religion. We can conquer anything as long as we come together to put our forces together and ensure that there is a better society. Thank you once again for being part of the show. It's been wonderful to know that anytime we come out there with one topic or the other, you are always watching. Thank you so much for your support. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thank you so much once again. I can keep thanking you all and all, but thank you for the last time. See you next time. Bye for now.